I want you to stand toward the front edge of your mat. Rock back and forth, balls of your feet and to your heels. Drop your shoulder blades down. Think crown of your head up toward the ceiling. And then I want you to settle into the balls of your feet and your heels evenly. And think about pressing down and even broad, so wide and push. So make sure you've got some pressure on the little toe side and the big toe side. Pushing down, lengthen up, but don't lock your knees. So you're going to ease the knees, tip the hip forward, back. Just make sure you're awake in here. And then lift your rib cage off your hips. Just make sure you're lifted, not sunk in. You know that feeling. Drop your shoulder blades back and take a deep breath in here as you inhale. Little circle back with your shoulders and then set them down and think of sewing them together. Not in a way that you feel like you're gripping, but just in a way that suddenly feels like you just opened up some space. There's a sternum or a string on your sternum lifting you up, and you now feel lighter and longer. Crown of your head up. This is lifted. This is slightly tucked. And from here, we begin. Inhale, come up. Get some length out of those fingertips. And on the exhale, you're going to hinge forward right here from your tailbone and round when you need to. Exhaling as you come down here. I'm going to have you just hold this. So as you first do this, you want to make sure you're nice and loose. So you can just kind of walk that. Your heels stay down. But I want you to just put the weight into your left and into your right, bending those knees here side to side. Release your head, so you're coming down. Just try to talk a little bit as well. And then relax. You're going to let yourself come all the way down that first time. And then we do what's called a spine stretch to the front. So as you do that, you lengthen forward, but it's not a look. So we're not straining the neck. You want to keep that nice in line. And you can either go here if you've got good flexibility, but you may need to go here. And remember that you want to do the one that gives you the better stretch. And that's not necessarily going all the way. So I'll show you other places where it's better to be back up, getting the right stretch in the right place. And from here, I want you to exhale. Now, as we come all the way back up, I want you to notice something. You're going to keep your back straight. Your knees can bend if you need to do that. If you feel a little vulnerable in your lower back, don't round the back, bend the knees. So here are the options. You're either going to come up this way, straight legs, because you have the strength and you know it, or you're going to be coming up this way, bending the knees with a flat back, coming up this way, so the back is safe no matter what, all right? Here we go. Let's move with the breath. Inhale, come up. You're going to exhale and dive forward, flat back. Release the head down. Inhale, spine stretch to the front, hands wherever you need them to be. And then on the exhale, you go a little bit deeper in your stretch. So what you want to be feeling here is the tailbone lifting up and getting the stretch through the legs as much as you can. And then on the inhale, you're going to come all the way back to the top, flat back, but bending the knees as you need to. And exhale, hands to your heart center. Inhale, come up. Exhale, you're going to dive forward. Inhale, nice long spine stretch. Exhale, come down. On the inhale, come all the way back up. And on the exhale, hands to the heart center. Now we add on. Inhale, same start. On the exhale, dive forward. Inhale, spine stretch to the front. And on the exhale, you're going to step back into your plank pose. You're a little bit wider apart. We're going to hold this at the top of the plank. Pay attention to you're pushing back through your heels, straight legs. Everything is active here. Shoulder blades are back. Ears and shoulders are a long way from one another. Inhale. You're going to lower down, and you can come to your knees here if you need to. Otherwise, you're going to lower down in chaturanga. Keep the shoulders above the elbows. At the floor, you can either lie down or you skim it, drop your feet flat, and open up. You're thinking of peeling your shoulder blades back, lengthening, and if you're strong and familiar, you're here. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale, your toes curl under and lift your hips with your belly strength to come into downward facing dog. Now, downward dog is a resting position. So I want you to stay right here. Just look forward. If you're on a mat, you want the crease of your wrist to be parallel to the front of that mat. I want you to open up all your fingers and put weight in all 5. Inhale, lifting the tailbone up, and exhale, sink the heels into the ground, not so much the toes. On your next exhale, you're going to step forward, right between your hands with both feet. Relax the head down, and we come all the way back to the top. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do that again with a little bit more flow, moving with the breath. Inhale. And exhale, diving forward. Release when you need to. Inhale, spine stretch forward. And exhale, stepping back into your plank pose. Inhale, take a breath at the top. Push back through your heels here. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Inhale, sweeping into your upward facing dog. Pull those shoulders back. And on the exhale, curl your toes under. Use your belly strength to lift you up. And feet come flat. You're going to raise the hips. The tailbone comes into the air, but you're pressing through the fingertips to push your heels down into the ground. Exhale right here. Weight of the head should be just hanging. Ears are right next to that upper arm. And on the exhale, you're going to step forward 1 foot at a time, right between your hands. Release the head. And inhale, coming all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. We go 1 more for sun salutation 3. Looks like this. Inhale, come up. Lengthen. And exhale, dive forward. Inhale, take a spine stretch forward. And exhale, step back into plank pose. In your plank position, inhale at the top. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, coming into upward facing dog. Pull those shoulders back, open the chest. And exhale into downward facing dog. And from here, we take a slightly different next phase. So enjoy this downward facing dog. Press your heels into the floor. Lift your toes, wiggle them a little bit. And then on the end of your next exhale, I want you to take your right foot forward. And you're going to drop that left knee down. You're going to take the left toes and put them flat on the floor as well. Fingertips on either side of that foot. And I want you to really press through. So I'm really leaning in. I want to open up this hip flexor. But I also want not to be rounded. I want to be open. Just try and drop your shoulders back and down. Feel the length and openness through your neck and your shoulders. Inhale here. Put some pressure on that back foot. So I really want you to feel the opening of the hip and the front hip, right? They're both opening up. Or reach to your fingertips if you need to. And if you already have some yoga practice under your belt, if you have yoga blocks, sometimes this is a nice place to put them right here so you're elevated. And if not, you might try books to put your hands there. And exhale, palms flat. You're going to take that back toe, and what I'd like you to do is step back into plank and lower down with the other leg sweeping forward. You're going to take that back knee down, drop the foot flat to the floor, lengthen through your spine. So again, string on that sternum, draw your shoulder blades back, push the top of your foot down into the floor. Should be feeling some opening up through the hip, both in this one that's flexed around your hamstring and your glutes, and this one that's extended at your hip flexor. The lunge is one of my favorite exercises of all kind for that reason. They're both either stretching or one is strengthening and the other is stretching. On the end of your exhale, you're going to take those back toes and curl under, and this time step up, bring both feet together, and relax the weight of your head down. Inhale, come all the way back to your standing mountain pose. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Soften your knees slightly. Lift up. Think a little taller than when you first came in. And exhale. Release. Good. And if that's all the time you have today, that's a great practice. If you have more time, you can push play on the very next video.